This podcast is supported by MIDI Health. Are you in midlife, feeling dismissed, unheard, or just plain tired of the old healthcare system? You're not alone. For too long, women's serious midlife health issues have been trivialized, ignored, and met with a just deal with it attitude. Many of us have been made to feel ashamed or forgotten. In fact, even today, 75% of women seeking care for menopause and perimenopause issues are left entirely untreated. But here's the powerful truth. It's time for a change. It's time for MIDI. MIDI is not just a healthcare provider. It's a women's telehealth clinic, founded and supported by world-class leaders in women's health. What sets MIDI apart? We are the only women's telehealth brand covered by major insurance companies, making high-quality expert care accessible and affordable. Our clinicians provide one-on-one, face-to-face consultations where they truly listen to your unique needs. We offer a full range of holistic, data-driven solutions, from hormonal therapies and weight loss protocols to lifestyle coaching and preventative health guidance. This isn't one-size-fits-all care. This is care uniquely tailored for you. At MIDI, you will join our patients who feel seen, heard, and prioritized. You will find that our mission is clear: to help all women thrive in midlife, giving them access to the health care they deserve. Because we believe midlife isn't the middle at all. It is the beginning of your second act. Ready to feel your best and write your second act script? Visit joinmidi.com today to book your personalized insurance-covered virtual visit. That's joinmidi.com. MIDI, the care women deserve.
Welcome back to The Real Dish. This is the place where we serve up no-fluff conversations about health, wellness, and all the juicy details you want to know but might not talk about enough. I'm Chef Mareya, and today we're diving headfirst into a topic that has been the center of many, many debates, doctor's visits, and Google searches. And it is a hot topic indeed. It is hormone replacement therapy, or HRT. And all you have to do is broach the subject, and you will find very quickly that people have very strong opinions about it. And today I want to break this down because hormone replacement therapy, or HRT, is an option, but so is natural approaches that women around the world use to manage menopause, myself included. Now, menopause isn't a one-size-fits-all experience. It's as unique as we are. And while it comes with its challenges, hot flashes, mood swings, and brain fog, this phase can also be very empowering once you figure out what works for you. So here's where you grab your tea, your kombucha, or whatever keeps you cool, because we're about to break it all down like the master butcher that I am. So what is HRT and why is it so popular? Well, let's start with the basics, okay? And let me preface by saying I am not a doctor, but having been a person that has gone through menopause and having been a person who has been a nutritionist for some time now, I went through a pretty traumatic experience just kind of figuring out that I was in menopause because, believe it or not, just 4.5 years ago or so when this occurred to me, or I started going through the changes, I didn't get very many answers from my doctor. In fact, I got an answer that I was not a candidate for HRT. But it turns out pretty much anybody can get HRT now. And it is a medical treatment, and it works to restore the hormones your body loses during menopause, like estrogen and progesterone. And you can do it in the form of a bioidentical hormone patch. You can do it in a pill. You can do it in a cream. You can do it in a gel. You can even get a little pellet implant. And the goal here is to just help regulate your hormones. And by doing this, you're also helping with your mood, your bone health, your body temperature, your heart health. And, honestly, there's just so many options. It's almost dizzying even just to think about the options. But the goal here is to design a system that allows your body to react most closely to how it did when your hormones and your levels were all stable, were all where they were pre-menopause, right? So for many women, HRT is an absolute lifesaver. It's proven to reduce hot flashes, improve sleep, protect bone density, and it helps to enhance libido. Yes, we're going there. But it's not without controversy. And here is where, for me personally, I needed to find out more answers, because studies over the years have raised concerns about long-term risks like the increased chances of breast cancer, cardiovascular issues, etc. Now, that said, and I follow a lot of doctors that are experts in this area, they say that newer research suggests that for many women, the benefits far outweigh the risks, especially if HRT is started within the first 10 years of menopause. But here's the thing. It's not the only option. And this is where I really want to state the case as a woman who has chosen the not medical option, not taking the cream, the patch, the pill, the implants, that there are ways to work around this that are more lifestyle focused. Does this mean that my opinion is the only opinion? No. In fact, when you look around the world, there are lots of different ways that women approach the natural route globally. And so I want to present that to you so that you can make your own educated choice. So let's take a trip around the globe. Women in different cultures have been managing menopause systems literally for thousands of years, okay? For at least centuries, right? I mean, not in the not so, what am I trying to say? Like, aging is a privilege, right? And until fairly recently, women didn't really live beyond, 40, 50 years old. 50 was considered like over the hill. But now women are living into their hundreds. So, how different cultures have been managing menopause symptoms really has varied, but it's been around for centuries, long before medical HRT was even a thing. So, like, for example, in Japan, women experience much fewer menopausal symptoms than women in Western countries, and experts believe it's partly due to their diet, which is rich in soy. Now, if you're sitting there going, wait, hold up, I thought soy caused breast cancer and was a problem. Well, no, it's the source of the soy and what the soy is. But soy contains phytoestrogens, just like many other produce items and plant foods, like sweet potatoes, for example. And these phytoestrogens mimic estrogen in the body. So you're getting them from a plant source. Now, soy looks very different in different forms. Miso is soy, edamame is soy, tempeh is soy, tofu is soy. There's lots of different soy products. And then there's soy sauce and soy oil and some of the things that are much more highly processed. The more processed, the more opportunity for issues. So when it comes to soy, sticking close to is what nature intended without a lot of, processing and, really prioritizing organic soy, because wheat, soy, and corn are the most genetically modified crops in the United States. And genetically modified crops means there are higher levels of pesticides used, and more potential for, just not a pure source being introduced into your body. So you want to just go pure and you want to go organic as much as you possibly can. But in Japan, it's credited for women having fewer menopausal symptoms. And we know in Okinawa, it's one of the blue zones where women and men live the longest, one of the blue zones in the entire world. So they're doing something right over there. In India, the common practice of Ayurveda, which is an ancient practice, which, plays a huge role in how you eat, the herbs that you take, etc. Ayurveda plays a big role in managing these menopause symptoms. And herbs like ashwagandha, which is now very popular here stateside, Shatavari are go-to remedies for balancing hormones and calming the mind. Now, I can testify to this. Ashwagandha has been a game changer for me. I feel like I kind of got my life back with ashwagandha, if I'm being honest, coupled with several other things. But it just helps to calm me and center me. And, ashwagandha is credited with helping with testosterone production, which also helps balance the estrogen and progesterone in your body and helps with muscle building. So ashwagandha has been a big part of my menopause journey that has helped me a great deal. In China, traditional Chinese medicine offers a completely holistic approach, which I think we could learn a whole lot from how Chinese traditional medicine works, but approaches with acupuncture and herbal teas like ginseng and dongquai. They help to harmonize the body's energy and alleviate symptoms. I have been taking ginseng since I was a teenager. I got introduced to ginseng, and I hate to say this, but it was like the natural thing to take before we would go out. So, like, when I wanted my energy higher, but I didn't want to like dose up on a bunch of caffeine, I would take ginseng. And I've never stopped. I love ginseng. It's one of the greatest natural plant-based, supplements you can take. And it turns out that it helps with your energy when you're in menopause too. And in the Mediterranean, look, the Mediterranean diet we know is the healthiest diet. And it's a remedy, okay? It's not just a diet, but it's actually a remedy for menopause symptoms. And when you take the healthy fats, the good olive oils and, olives and nuts and seeds, and you get antioxidants and omega-3s from the healthy fish and plant foods, these all support hormone health, but they also support heart health and reduce inflammation. One of the things that ends up happening to women in menopause is that they experience significantly higher risk of heart disease. And so supporting your body with foods like these and supplements that help to support a healthy heart is everything. And certainly black cumin seed, which is amazing and something that's been used in Egypt and parts of India or I should say all of India, for thousands and thousands of years. They found it in the tomb of King Tut. I mean, it was like heralded as the cure-all by so many ancient practitioners, including Hippocrates, the father of modern medicine. We can find a lot of relief in those herbal remedies, even in North and South America, okay? When you look at South America, for example, indigenous remedies like black cohosh and maca root have stood the test of time for managing symptoms naturally. And I take a little blend that is like a menopause support blend, and it has black cohosh and maca root in it. So I'm just saying we can really take a cue from how other countries do it. Now, what do the numbers say? HRT versus natural. I was really curious to see globally, because here in the United States, let's face it, we have access to things that are not available globally. So what are women around the world doing? Are they just suffering in silence, or are they doing stuff to manage and show up? I mean, I was just in Costa Rica and I saw women riding their bikes in their 80s. I saw women standing in their little sodas, their little, restaurants in their 70s. They're still doing the work. They're still showing up for their families and being active. So what are they doing? So here's what I found out. Globally, only about 12 to 15% of women actually use HRT. And when I say HRT, I mean the medical interventions. So the creams, the pills, the patches, all of that. Now, depending on the country and access to healthcare, you've got to think about that. Like, I would say the majority of those statistics are probably North America, right? Developed countries. Meanwhile, over 70% rely on natural methods. And whether that's by choice or cultural preference or just lack of access to medical treatment, here's how it breaks down. In Western countries like the US and the UK, HRT is more common. Duh, we can afford it, we have it available, so that makes a whole lot of sense. So about 20 to 25% of menopausal women opt for it. In Asia and Africa, it's all about natural approaches. In Japan, which is also a wealthy, developed country, only around 5% of women use it because they just don't, it's not as much of an issue. Because of their dietary and lifestyle practices, they just tend to manage it effectively. In South America, because herbs like maca and other plant-based remedies are really part of everyday life, along with the other lifestyle hacks that I'm going to talk to you about, using HRT also is relatively low. So it's really much more about the US and the UK. Now, these statistics highlight that while HRT can be transformative for some, natural methods often align with cultural traditions and holistic approaches to health. So how do you decide for you? How do you decide between HRT and going a natural route with lifestyle choices? Well, it really comes down to your body, your symptoms, and your preferences. HRT can be highly effective at reducing severe symptoms like hot flashes and night sweats. It can provide protection against bone loss and fractures. It can improve overall quality of life during menopause. But I think the jury is still out definitively on whether it is completely safe. I mean, I am not a medical doctor, but could there be risks? I mean, I haven't seen like really, really conclusive evidence that shows one way or the other. Now, if you have a risk of breast cancer in your family, you are advised not to take HRT. If you have a history of blood clots, you are not advised to take HRT. If you have heart issues, you're not advised to take HRT. So if you already have those scenarios going on, I mean, you are advised not to take it, then that just tells me that it could exacerbate symptoms that are pre-existing. But does that mean that if you don't have it, it's completely safe? Not sure. And then, there are the natural route pros. When they align with holistic and cultural practices already, that's just like common, it's common sense. It's nature. If you are raised, eating a Mediterranean diet and you're eating, mostly grains and unprocessed food and good healthy fats, and you're getting sunshine and you're getting adequate exercise, chances are you probably don't need it. And that's why many people in the Mediterranean don't use it. If you are somebody that is, you don't have any medical risks associated with synthetic hormones, then, maybe that's something that you look into. But natural remedies can be a great way to manage other symptoms, like reducing inflammation, like helping with better sleep, like improved digestion. Part of my personal protocol for sleep is I take L-theanine, which is an amino acid that helps to relax you. I take magnesium. I take a evening primrose oil. I take my omega-3s at night. And every once in a while when I need additional help, I'll do wild yam cream. Like if I've had a day where I notice particularly hot flashes, which I don't normally get, then I'll do a little wild yam cream and I'll just rub it on my wrists. And that's what helps me get a good night's sleep. Now, it's also really important, when you're looking at your lifestyle, and something that I went through when I went through my own menopause journey is looking at your diet. And I'm going to go into this in a much more detailed episode where we're going to really break down, like, what is the diet? What are the changes that you can make with regards to exercise? Because there are changes, How do you handle sleep? One of the most important things, and I'm just going to mention this now, for getting good night's sleep is not just taking the supplements, but watching your caffeine intake, not looking at a blue light, your digital devices too late, so that you have a little break before you go to bed, and making sure your room is cool. Oh my goodness, what a game changer is this? Now, studies show that if you are in a room and your body temperature is 2 degrees cooler than normal, then you're going to sleep a lot better. So set the thermostat for a cooler temperature. Put the ceiling fan on. I have a ceiling. I had to beg my husband to install it, truth be told, because he doesn't like a cold room. But I was like, look, happy wife, happy life. So let's get it together. We need a fan in here. So the ceiling fan has been a godsend for me. Crack the window. It's really important to crack the window just to detox your room anyways, but crack the window and get some Cozy Earth sheets. They have made a huge difference for me. I use all the Cozy Earth bedding. I wear Cozy Earth pajamas, or sometimes I just don't wear pajamas, truth be told. And keep cool, keep cool, keep cool. It really makes a huge difference when you can just keep your body temperature cool. And I just got a cooling blanket. So like a little, like a lightweight cooling blanket for the summer months. So we'll see how that works when it starts to get warm out, or warmer, I should say. I live in Southern California, so it's always pretty warm. So, I just want to sum this up by saying it's not a one size fits all. And you should not feel pressured to go on HRT if it's something that you don't feel personally comfortable with. It is something that you will need to do consistently. If you decide to go off of it, then, you may have symptoms again, and then you might want to explore the natural options. But for me, I grew up in a home with a pharmacist mom, and I love my mom so much. So I am not saying anything negative here, but there was always a pill for that. There was always a solution for that. And my whole life working in the natural products industry and being a chef and being a holistic nutrition coach and being a brain health coach, I've always looked for the natural options. And for me, that was the route that I've taken. Doesn't mean that at some point I might not change my mind, but for now it works. And I'm able to manage it, and I'm able to show up in the world. I did 2 bodybuilding competitions, got in the best shape of my life. Like, it is possible. So you just have to ask yourself, like, are you willing to put in the work and be patient with the process of going the natural route? Because it will be a little bit of trial and error. And from what I hear from my friends who are on HRT, it's a little trial and error with that too. It's not for everybody. Some people have reported having really significant mood swings and weight gain, and just feeling like, I'm like chained to this. I've always got to worry about taking this or rubbing on that, so it doesn't go without its drawbacks. And to me, what I've loved about this journey is that it's a reminder that menopause doesn't have to be like, oh my gosh, it's either one or the other. I'm damned if I do, damned if I don't. No, it's a phase and it's not a flaw. If you choose HRT, awesome. If that works for you. If you choose a natural approach, great. That works for you. Or even if you do a mix of both. The key is to fine tune it into your body to find what makes you feel like the best version of yourself. Be encouraged that around the world, women are showing us that there's no right or wrong way to navigate it. If it's miso soup every day and sweet potatoes, so be it. If it's Mediterranean, extra virgin olive oil, And sardines, so be it. Don't knock it till you try it, by the way. I love me some sardines. Or if it's a bioidentical hormone patch and you just have resigned to the fact that that's what works for you and that's what works for you. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. So every choice is valid if it works for you. Now, I created a solution in a spice blend that I think you'll find very interesting. It's called Superfood Sprinkle. And if you use the code VIP15, you'll get 15% off your purchase at mysuperfoodsprinkle.com. It is a blend of adaptogens, which helps with relaxing your brain and giving your brain support. It helps with calming your adrenal glands and giving you that kind of support, which is very important. It contains antioxidants in the black cumin seed. It contains good fat in the sesame seeds and what am I missing? The sesame seeds and the black cumin seed. And then you've got nutritional yeast, which has some protein in it, good B vitamins, which help support your adrenal system as well, and so many other beneficial ingredients. So check it out, mysuperfoodsprinkle.com. Just a sprinkle will do ya. And believe it or not, leaning into your spice rack is a big way to manage your hormones. There are so many other spices, and we will dive into that in future episodes. So for now, that's what I wanted to share with you. HRT does not have to be a hot topic, no pun intended. It can be something that we can all approach based on our terms and our terms alone. And I hope this gave you some clarity and maybe even some inspiration for how you want to navigate menopause. It's coming for you, ladies. If you're younger and you're like, I don't know about that. If you get to age, which is a privilege, you will go into menopause. It is just a rite of passage. So tuck this away for a future life change, just put it on the back burner. It's coming for you. And if you are somebody that has someone in their life that's navigating this, would you share this with them? I think the more people understand they have choices and they have options, the more we can make our lives better and really live our best fit life. And if you love this episode, would you make sure to subscribe and leave a review? It really helps us keep these conversations going. And I want to hear from you. If you are Team HRT, Team Natural, or somewhere in between, would you DM me or comment on today's post on my Instagram at Chef Mareya and let me know about your experience. I am all ears. So until next time, stay strong, stay fabulous, and stay unapologetically you, because you are beautiful.
This podcast is for informational purposes only and should not be considered legal health advice. We are not responsible for any losses, damages, or liabilities that may arise from the use of this podcast. This podcast is not intended to replace professional medical advice, and the views expressed in this podcast may not be those of the host or the management. Hey, it's Chef Mareya, and thank you so much for tuning into The Real Dish. It means a lot to me that you're here. I hope today's episode has inspired you to take some proactive steps towards a healthier and happier you. Because just remember, bite-sized changes can lead to big transformations. But before you go, would you do me a big favor? If you found value in this episode, would you share it with 2 of your closest friends and hit the subscribe button so you never miss an episode? And if you really want to make this girl's day, would you leave a 5-star review? I do hear an angel gets its wings every time you do that. But really, this helps us spread the message of real life wellness to even more listeners. And everybody could use a healthy portion of that, right? Now, until next time, remember, you are the chef of your own kitchen. So feed your life well, make good decisions, prioritize your well-being, and remember, you need to take care of you because we only get one of you and you are a gift to everyone around you. So until next week, this is Chef Mareya signing off. And just remember, we're here to cook up a good time every single week. We'll see you soon.